I'm going to be ranking the best endgame and invincible cards in NBA 2K23 My Team. As you guys can see, we got a tier list here ranking from S that goes all the way down to D tier, and we have about 40 of the best endgame and invincible cards currently in the game. I wanted to get you guys a tier list of just which are the best endgame and invincible cards right now in my team. It's not going to be every single invincible card and every single endgame. It's just going to be all of the best combined into one single tier list that I'll be ranking from S that goes all the way down to D tier. But let me know in the comment section down below either your favorite invincible card in the game or your favorite endgame, and of course let me know what you guys would change about my tier list. But looking at the first invincible slash endgame is going to be Kawhi Leonard. I think his invincible card probably going to be in B tier. Once again, there's so many amazing cards on this tier list, like some of the best cards in the game. So I think B tier is a really good spot for Kawhi. 6'7" at shooting guard, 7'3" wingspan. We know Kawhi is going to be an elite level defender on the perimeter. He's got almost maxed out stats, almost maxed out badges. He does have maxed out defensive tendencies, and then they gave him a pretty good jump shot with that KCP base Kawhi Leonard upper on very quick timing. I think is actually a very knockdown jump shot in the catch and shoot, and then he still got those great dribble sigs with the Steve Francis size up, the John Wall escape, and the Dame behind the back, and then he's also got the quick chops off one and the front clutches as well. So all around Kawhi, a beast at shooting guard, and I do think for this invincible endgame card tier list, I think it's going to be in B tier. Now Allen Iverson, I think is going to have to be in the D tier category. I mean, he's only 6 foot at point guard, and once again, there's just so many amazing cards, so I do think AI gonna have to be in that D tier category. Now on the flip side, I think LeBron's gonna be an S. I think he's probably the best endgame, maybe not the best endgame and invincible card. There is a very tall man here that we'll talk about here in a second that probably will be a little bit better, including Victor Wembanyama, but I think LeBron is for sure going to be an S tier. 6'9" at point guard, 7 foot wingspan. I mean, he can play small forward as well, but you want to play him at the point guard position most likely, and I do think he's the best point guard in the game. I think he's probably the best or second best endgame card, so for sure going to be in that S tier category. Bill Russell, a little bit undersized at power forward. I'm gonna probably go B tier. He's still a really good all-around power forward. He's an endgame card, 6'10" at power forward, 7'4" wingspan. But like I said, a little bit undersized for the power forward position, and I would personally put guys like Kristaps and cards like Joel Embiid a little bit over Bill Russell just because of their size and their player model, their height and their wingspan, a little bit over, Bill Russell, because Embiid and Bill are going to be pretty much the exact same card. I just think that Embiid being, those 3 inches taller or 2 inches taller is going to make a little bit of a difference. Also, Embiid does have a great player model, and they're going to be very similar cards. So I do think Joel Embiid going to be in that A tier category, and I also think Kristaps, an invincible card, that's going to be an A. 7'3" at the power forward position, 7'6" wingspan. So he's got amazing size at power forward. He's still got a top tier jump shot with that Kristaps base. Kristaps upper on very quick timing. He's got solid dribble sigs. He's got the quick chops off one. Pretty good defensive tendencies for a KP card, and I do think he's going to be an A tier. Larry Bird, I'm gonna say B. I think Larry Bird's still really good at small forward. He's 6'9" with a 7 foot wingspan. They gave him a new and improved jump shot. He's got great dribble sigs, perfect defensive tendencies, and great dunk packages. I just don't know if he's going to be an A tier. I think B is probably a fair spot for Larry Bird. Now, talking about Jimmy Buckets, do you put him in S tier? I think it's a really close debate. I think for now, I'm gonna probably go Jimmy Butler in A tier, but I could for sure see Jimmy, somewhere in the S tier category. He's an endgame point guard, just 2 inches smaller than an endgame LeBron. Now, Chris Bosh, I think is probably, I like Chris Bosh a lot, but I think he's most likely C tier. I still think he's a really good power forward in the game. Like, he's 6'11" at the 4, 7'3" wingspan, has one of my favorite power forward jump shots in the game, or at least starting to become one of my favorite power forward jump shots. Really good in the catch and shoot. He's got perfect defensive tendencies, very good dribble sigs for a Chris Bosh card with the D-Mitch size up, the Curry escape Dame behind the back, and he moves really well in game, for a power forward card. Once again, there's just going to be so many top tier cards on this tier list that I do think Chris Bosh is going to be in C tier. Elton Brand, I think is on the same level as Larry Bird. I know it's crazy to say, but I think Elton Brand is an absolute beast at small forward. I'm gonna put him in that B tier category. Cade, I'm gonna also go B tier. I don't think Cade is A. He's a really good point guard, 6'8" at the 1. They gave him a new and improved jump shot with that D-Mitch base and the Oscar upper on very quick timing. So he's got a great jump shot, but I just don't think he'll be in the A tier category. Now, Steph Curry is a really tricky one. I think he's going to have to be in D tier just based off size alone. I think Curry's still a very fun and a really good offensive point guard, and same thing with Allen Iverson. I just think they're going to be a little bit undersized for this tier list. Now, Invincible Victor Wembanyama, easily going to be an S tier. I would say the best card in the game, so he's the best Invincible or the best endgame, even though I really like LeBron, and I think he's top tier at point guard, of course, and one of the best endgame cards. You got Victor, who's 7'5" at small forward, 8-foot wingspan, legit 99 every single stat. They gave him a top tier jump shot, the perfect dribble sigs, the best dunk packages. I mean, this card is an absolute cheese ball, and I do think it's going to be an S tier. Shaq, I also got in the S tier category. I think him and LeBron are the two best endgames. I mean, Shaq, 7'1" at power forward, 7'7" wingspan, one of the best player models in the game. Like, that's the big thing about Shaq, is just how wide and how big his player model is, really helping him out getting pace stops down low, and he's just super dominant in the paint, you know, whether it's on offense or whether it's on defense. Just an absolute beast of a card. I think Dale Ellis gonna be in C tier. I think he's a great shooting guard. I'm not the biggest fan of his jump shot, though. I will say it's the same release as Lamar Odom. I'm not the biggest fan of the release, and he has good but not amazing dribble sigs. Like, he's got, you know, the D-Rose size up, which is great. He's got great dunk packages, right? Perfect defensive tendencies. He's a really good shooting guard. I would just say a step below, you know, a Kawhi Leonard type of card. D-Rob is another really tricky one. Do you go D-Rob in S or do you go D-Rob in A? I'm gonna go A tier for now. I just think he's a step below Shaq, but will most likely be in the S tier category. D-Rob is still such a good power forward card. Anthony Edwards, I'm gonna go B. Maybe C tier. I'm gonna go C for Anthony Edwards. I still think he's great at point guard, but I do think he's like a step below Cade and maybe some other point guards that will be in the B tier category. Endgame Luka, I think I'm gonna go D-Rob and Luka in S. I think they're both gonna be in the S tier category, but then that means I also gotta go Jimmy Butler in the S tier category because him and Luka are pretty much the exact same card, and D-Rob and Shaq are also very similar as well. So I'll put D-Rob, I'll put Shaq, you know, both in that S tier category, and same thing for Luka and Jimmy. Just such good endgame and invincible cards. I think Danny Granger actually gonna be an A tier. I think he's a really, really good shooting guard. Like, he's 6'9" at the shooting guard position, 7'1" wingspan. His stats are amazing across the board, and they actually gave him a top tier jump shot. The KPJ base Kevin Love upper on very quick timing is such an elite level release, and then he's also got some of the best dribble sigs. He doesn't have like any good safe dunk packages, but still Danny Granger is an absolute beast at shooting guard, and I think it's going to be in that A tier category. Grant Hill, I'm gonna probably go C tier for Grant Hill. He's not a bad invincible card. I think he's like on the same range as a Dale Ellis. The one big thing they really messed up with on Grant Hill, though, is they gave him only the pro escape, and that's gonna make a huge difference. Once again, once we get to like these top tier cards that are all basically perfect with their jump shot, their dribble sigs, their dunk packages, it really comes down to nitpicking stuff, and I think that pro escape is a big enough, you know, flaw in the card to put him down a tier. So I do think he's gonna be probably in C tier. Like, if he had the Trey escape or the Curry escape, I'd most likely put him in B tier. I do think that pro escape makes a big difference. Now, Giannis, I think, is also going to be in C tier. A really good 6'11" small forward. He brings that size and that defense, but jump shot is just really not up to par with some of the better invincible cards in the game. So I do think he's going to be in C tier, even though he's a great defender. And once he gets his endgame card, he'll probably be one of the best endgames just because of his size and his player model at that small forward position. MJ for now, I think, is going to be in A tier. I think he's like a tiny bit worse than Jimmy and Luka, and it really just comes down to 1 inch. But I do think we're gonna have to have some cards in A tier, and I like Luka and Jimmy a little bit more than MJ, so for now he's gonna be in the A tier category. Jamal Mashburn, I do like a little bit more than Dale Ellis. I'm gonna put B tier for Jamal Mashburn. He's 6'8" at the 2. I think he's a really good all-around shooting guard. Baron Davis, I'm gonna probably go D tier. Once again, just another undersized card, like a Steph Curry and an Allen Iverson. Kenyon Martin, I'm gonna go high C tier for Kenyon Martin. I think he's probably just one step below Elton Brand and Larry Bird, but very, very similar small forward cards. LeBron, I'm gonna go in B tier. I don't think he's A anymore. He's still a really good invincible card, even though he's got his endgame version. Like, this card is still very runnable in game. He's 6'9" at shooting guard, 7-foot wingspan. We know this LeBron and the endgame are going to be top tier defenders because of their, you know, just animations and their player model on defense. But I think Danny Granger is just an upgraded version of LeBron. He's just LeBron with a better jump shot and way better dribble sigs. I think Kobe gotta be an A. I mean, very, very similar, pretty much the exact same card to MJ. I think both those endgame cards gonna be in the A tier category. Now, Rashard Lewis is a tricky one. I think you probably put him A or S. I'm gonna go A tier for now. I mean, once again, you can't really get this card that much. Like, there's only, I don't think anybody even has this card yet, so I'm gonna just keep him in the A tier category. Manu Ginobili, I'm gonna go in C tier. LaMelo, I think I might also go LaMelo in C tier. Not to say that he's a bad point guard, but there's just so many other good Invincible cards in the game. I think Carmelo, probably, I'm gonna go B for Carmelo. He's still really good offensively. I think he's like a step below a Danny Granger. Really good jump shot, super fast release, and great dribble sigs. I think Evan Mobley actually gonna be an A tier. I think Evan Mobley is a top tier power forward. He's a great defender. He's got really good size at power forward. I'm gonna honestly go Evan Mobley in that A tier category. Lamar Odom, I'm also going A tier. Not like that high on Lamar Odom. I think he's really good at point guard. You know, he's 6'10" at the one. You know, all around is a beast defensively, but I'm not the biggest fan of that jump shot, just like Dale Ellis, because it's the exact same release. But then I'm also not the biggest fan of that Kyrie Irving size up. It really does hurt the card, and it's a big flaw, you know, having that Kyrie size up compared to the Steve Francis size up or the D-Rose size up, in my opinion. So I think Lamar Odom going to be in the A tier category, at least for now. I think Penny Hardaway also going to be an A tier. I think he's such an elite level point guard and a step above a Cade Cunningham. Paul George also has to be at least an A tier. I think Kareem probably going to be in C, just not that great, you know, of a jump shot, but still going to be really good defensively with his size. I think Russell Westbrook going to be in D tier. I think Shaq you put alongside Kristaps. I think both those Invincible power forwards in Shaq and Kristaps both deserve to be in the A tier category. Tim Duncan, gotta put him in A tier. He's still an endgame card, 6'11" at power forward. And then Dwayne Wade, I'ma most likely go in. Do I go C tier for Wade? I'm gonna go probably C tier. I do like him a little bit more than like the Russ, the Baron Davis, and the Steph Currys of the world. So we got 6 cards in the S tier category. But the thing is, if we want to move some cards up, we have to go like Rashard Lewis, we have to go Paul George, and then we kind of have to go Kobe and MJ as well. So do we want to have that many cards in the S tier category? You guys can let me know. Would you guys put this many cards in S, or would you maybe drop like a MJ or Kobe down into the A tier category? I'm gonna just leave it like this. It's obviously going to be a top heavy tier list when we're talking about all of these end games and all these top Invincible cards. So I do think this is going to be my end game and Invincible card tier list. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys would change about it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.